one more race to go, then we can go for a well-earned break. Welcome to the feature race today for the Hungarian Grand Prix weekend in Formula 2, where Kali Meyer will probably have one of the most difficult tasks of her season so far. Coming through the field somehow at one of the Jackson's weakest tracks, and which was proven by Aiden yesterday by qualifying in the bottom half of the field. And it's certainly been a bit of a bogey weekend for them. But Kali, as we know, can charge with the field. She did at Monaco, and that was probably a little bit tighter than here. But the circuit characteristics have not suited to her or her brother Aiden's driving style at all. Elsewhere, we're back at the front. Liam Lawson has one of the most crucial pole positions of his season so far, with Kali down in 10th in the low-end points. This is a chance for him to possibly take the championship lead. I think he needs to outscore Kali by 18 points. So I think, realistically, the only way he can do that is by winning this race or maybe getting second. But I think Kali might have that on virtue of more wins, even though I think she's only scored 3. Lawson's probably have more than that, actually, so maybe Lawson take the lead. But we'll go for the grid anyway. And we'll record you and Ralph Boschong bring up the rear by being over a second slower than Liam Lawson in qualifying on Friday. Jake Hughes and Richard Verschaw are the penultimate row, followed by Logan Sargent and Enzo Fittipaldi. Sargent could be Williams bound. Marcus Armstrong and Kevin Overlack are next, followed by Tatiana Calderon and Frederick Vesti, who just hasn't got it together for some reason. The same can be said of Jack Doohan. Marino Sargent has the advantage of being the first retiree with the tyre bug in the game. Kali Meyer starts with 10th. Into the top 5 we go with Teo Pourchaire. Callum Williams putting Trident back towards the front. And Yuri Vibbs is the surprise front row attendee alongside Liam Lawson, looking to build on his ever-increasing resume this season. And we mentioned Marino Sato earlier, starting 11th. He has the advantage of being the only retiree from the sprint race, and that means that he will have much better tyre wear and tyre choices going into this weekend due to the infamous bug in F1 23. He may actually well win this race in that position if it is all to kind of work out as we probably would have expected over the last few races since the bug really became into effect. Well, Sato will now have better, as we said, probably a better tyre wear on used tyres. I think the used tyres were everyone was on the hards. So when everyone goes to fit that tyre, it'll probably be the end of the race. So I can probably assume that maybe halfway through this race, we'll have to pit and everyone will go onto the set of soft tyres that are fresh for this session. In fact, both of them actually could be. And of course, due to the tyre bug in this game, only one set of hard tyres seem to be permitted in this race, and Kali Meyer wants to get going already, drawing alongside J.R. Deruva. Be careful, Kali. Michael Schumacher was disqualified for unlapping himself, well, not unlapping himself, but overtaking the race leader more than once at the British Grand Prix in 1994. We've had disqualifications of that before, so Kali might want to be a bit careful. But I think she's jumping at the bit to get going. She says that whatever, I'm going to make some changes and see if they click. But of course, it might do. You know, Kali Meyer is pretty good on adaptability. Probably not as much of a brother is at the moment, but Kali is not even a finished product right now. But she's already kind of very quickly getting there. Of course, she's not that much younger than her brother Aiden, only by a couple of years, I believe. The chances of each are apart. So Kali certainly isn't the finished product yet, but you know, Formula 3 champion, Formula 2 championship leader. If she wins it and then goes to Formula Academy is to be expected for 2023, she'll be going in as a double world champion, looking to three-peat in 3 different sports. No other driver has ever done that before.
Okay, not the best placement
and
there, mate.
I think Kali has gone a little bit forward in her grid box. She'll probably have to pull back. I think she's allowed to do that, but the fire lights are on already. She hasn't had to do that. It's lights out, and away we go for the final feature race of the first half of the season. How is the start? Liam Lawson is away, but Yuri Vibbs has flown off the start line. As turns Dennis Hauger, Liam Lawson has had a terrible start. He's down to 3rd. Yuri Vips leads, the surprise leader in the high-tech car, followed by Dennis Hauger. So it's the reverse of the sprint race, because this time Dennis Hauger is the leader. A bit further down, Callie May hasn't moved from 10th. She's trying to go around the outside there. And for Felipe Dragojic, doesn't make that stick. She's got her teammate Amuyu Iwasa up there in 6th. It'll be interesting to see if Jams employ team orders on that note, but we'll have to wait and see. So Vips leads from Hauger, Lawson and Porsche. Williams is 5th, followed by Iwasa. We've got, I think, one of the Charouz cars making a move there. I think it was Fittipaldi towards the back, passing Cordio, I believe. Richard Verschoor down in 21st. He has fallen off since a few races back. He is fading quickly for the championship picture. It is becoming a 2-horse race between Mayer and Lawson, and currently Lawson has the advantage. He will take, as it stands, 14 points out of Mayer's lead, and I believe that would make the lead 4 points, I think, judging by the standings yesterday. Callie and Lawson cancelled each other out, but Callie got there by being the fastest lap, and Lawson got the actual point in 8th place. Callie got the fastest lap bonus point and finished 9th, which ends a pretty historical, well, not historical, but very good scoring run for her. As we come to the end of the first lap, then Yuri Vips is sort of controlling it at the front. Dennis Hauger, really, what will, there's no team orders advantage. These are two different teammates, of course. As we said in the sprint race, they are wearing the same liveries on their cars, but they're not teammates. So Hauger is free to race if he wants to. And here's the start from Yuri Vips. He got off definitely the better. Liam Lawson seemed to have bogged down in the early phase of the start there. And Yuri Vips has pretty much an easy ride into turn 1. Almost loses it. Loses the back end there. It's very good to rescue that one. Let's have a look at the start from Hauger's perspective. And he gets off the line pretty much the same, but he has to swerve out of the way to pass Lawson. So Lawson got really bogged down. And of course we had a lot of people suffering from bog downs at the start in the sprint race. Marcus Armstrong was most notable as he fell down towards the back of the field, down 21st at the end of the first lap. Here's Callie's start. Pretty average. Almost goes for the move on Dragovic, but gets caught there by the Red Bull car of Jehan Darula in the Prema. Tries to go down the inside. Callie just gets boxed in. She can't pass anyone to start with. She almost passed Dragovic, got boxed in by Darula, and then kind of the reverse happened. And she almost got passed there by the driver behind her. I can't really see who that was. But trying to go around the outside of Dragovic into turn 2 doesn't make that stick. A bit of a slower exit out of turn 2. But Callie is definitely up for it at the moment. She just could not get a move off as far as passing a car is concerned. But here she comes down the start finish straight. There is DRS enabled. Not for this part of the circuit on this lap. And Callie goes round the outside. And that is one move that could be made to stick now. And she does. And Callie moves up a place. That gives her an extra point. That is 2 points now for 9th place. Liam Lawson currently sitting on 15 for 3rd place. And of course, the fastest lap will give you a bonus point if you finish in the top 10, which Callie did yesterday, and that's why she got the point for 9th place. And trying to go round the outside there of Darula and goes off the circuit. And once again, Callie is having to resort to an off-track excursion, trying to do the move that Aiden Jackson did on Giuliano Alesi back in 2020 here, in a race where Aiden struggled in these same cars. Callie has to pull to the outside, and Darula pushes her towards the curbs. Oh my goodness me. Oh my. She had to hit the brakes there. Wonderful car control from Callie Mayer, somehow getting the car slowed down. Anyone else in any other car on any other day, and that could have been a very hefty collision with the wall. But Callie Mayer not determined not to let that get that far. Great save from Callie. And guess what? She didn't lose almost any time on Darula ahead. So how she managed to save that and then stay behind Darula for the rest of that, quite remarkable to be honest. But that has been Callie Mayer this season. So Yuri Vips still leads. And I think he's increasing his lead to Dennis Hauger. I think it's 6 tenths looking at that board now. And here Then we come round again, and now we're on lap 4. This is a 19-lap race. We're expecting 2 stops because of the tyre bug in F123. So everyone will probably stop about lap 9 or 10, and then have to stop again on the penultimate lap, most likely, to fit hard tyres, because the hard tyres, due to the bug, is the one that was used in the sprint race yesterday. So they have about 1 lap left of rubber before possible punctures occur. But Callie Mayer sticky with JR Deruvala, but still really struggling with the handling of that car. But she's definitely looks much more competitive in this race. By this point, she'd already fallen out of the points with 2 off-track excursions. One of which was here after the penultimate corner. Nice hugging of the corner for Callie. She's definitely controlling and channeling the speed. She knows that coming out of corners, the car struggled yesterday. Looks like she's trying to channel that and rein that in a bit to keep her space. Did I see smoke from a car back there? I did. It's Ollie Caldwell who is out of this race. That gives Callie May a P8 now, and she probably needs more of that. But she is still with Jehan Deruvala. So that's Ollie Caldwell out of this race. And very rare engine failure. We seem to have had at least one engine failure every race, I believe. Meanwhile, at the front, Liam Lawson has to get a move on, because Callie has definitely got the move on herself. She's now up to P8. In every position that Callie tries to gain in this race, and Liam doesn't really gain at least one position on Hauger, the less points Lawson will take out of Mayer's lead. Going into Spa-Francorchamps at the end of the summer break, a track where the Jackson siblings have been particularly good. Callie dominated the feature race in Belgium last year, absolutely walked it in that one, in one of the very few races. Oh no, this is, oh no, it's 22. We didn't have a race in 21, did we? I don't think we had any racing in 21 because of the, so I don't, because we're in 22 at the moment, we didn't have a race in Spa last year, of course. No F1 race anyway. I don't think any competitive racing was happening that day. The rain was too strong and no racing got done at all. We had 3 laps under the safety car in 21 in the F1 race, and that was it. That was your lot, and half points were awarded. But in the sessions that did happen, Callie took pole in Formula 3. So she dominated the qualifying in Formula 3. She was over half a second clear of everyone else. So definitely Callie Mayer has definitely got Belgium circled as her favourite track. Of course, Jackson, an avid fan of the great Michael Schumacher. So Spa is probably a special place to him as well. And we are hearing of a possible special Audi livery to not really celebrate, obviously commemorate Michael's first win over 20 years ago in 1992. And that was Michael's first of 91 victories in that Belgian Grand Prix. Very apt that it was a year almost to the day, definitely to the racetrack after his debut. And Audi would obviously looking to announce Mika Häkkinen for the rest of the 2022 season. And a special livery, and even one of Michael's famous phrases, which I believe was to finish first. First you must finish, or something like that. I personally think Murray Walker, came up with that first, but I guess I could look that up later. Callie Mayer still sticky with Jehan Deruvala, but very much like Liam Lawson, DRS is relatively effective for staying in front, as it is keeping a driver behind because of the short and twisty nature of this track. Logan Sargent is making it work, and we're expecting him to be Williams bound for 2023 to replace Nicholas Latifi most likely. As for who the second driver is, it's most likely going to be Alex Albon. Here's Callie Mayer, who passed Daruvula at some point. We missed it, and it's in the same corner she tried last time. That time, she makes it stick. Callie Mayer does more sensational passing maneuvers, and whatever she has adjusted to make it stick today, it might have just worked. She's finally finding her groove here. And to be fair, I think she slid out of the last corner there. And she was able to stay ahead of Daruvula as a result. So, it's Iwasa in front of her now, her teammate. And those two had their battles in Monaco, didn't they? With Callie making a bold statement around the outside of Iwasa for the most part. Don't think there'll be any team orders at Dams. I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, for the championship, it would certainly benefit Callie Mayer, but you've heard that repeatedly that Dams cars are free to race. To be fair to Callie, she's been ahead of Iwasa for the most part, so we haven't really seen the Dams cars race aside from Monaco. Yuri Vips still holding that second lead, and now he's actually broken the DRS, Yuri Vips. So this could work well for his race. With 11 to go, but of course we've got the tyre bug and 2 pit stops to get around in this race, which could throw up a very unusual order. And if my estimate is correct, I think it's going to be Marino Sato probably winning the race on that kind of technicality, as it were, unfortunately, for us as a kind of, because the game doesn't work. But very pleasing for Marino Sato if he's able to get that, and Sato has already won a race this year, so he would have definitely deserved it. I think he won last year as well. I think he won in 2020 actually. Aiden Jackson was there in the sport, and Liam Lawson now has probably been told that Callie is making places and now wants to make one of his own on his Red Bull Academy compatriot in a way, Dennis Hauger. And not around the outside of turn 2, but certainly looking to make a move there. Callie is currently a second behind Iwasa, but she'll take the position right now because she's taking more points off Liam Lawson in the championship battle. Should be hoping that Dennis Hauger does Liam Lawson no favours. But I think there's going to be an air of inevitability about Lawson passing Hauger, because Liam Lawson won that Spanish sprint race, if you remember. Started 10th, he won the race. So it's Vips from Hauger. Lawson's still third, followed by Porchak. Callum Williams doing a good job there in 5th, but Iwasa. In fact, both Downs cars. Then we've got Daruvula, Dragovic, and Frederick Vesti, who's actually made his way up to 10th. So Frederick Vesti's had a good start. For Frederick Vesti, unfortunately for him, it's not really gone his way this season for some reason. Highly rated within the Mercedes Academy, but it's just not worked out for him this year at ART. And are we going to have some crews in the pit lane? We are. Is that Lawson coming into the pits there? Yes, it is. And he is the only front runner to pit. So Liam Lawson is rolling the dice here and going for an undercut, I suppose, on the leaders ahead, or just Hauger and Vips, really. He's going to get probably held up in the pits a little bit by Frederick Vesti, who's also come in. So Liam Lawson is rolling the dice. He's going to come out in a good pocket of space. This could be a fastest lap attempt by Liam Lawson, if anything. There is Iwasa, and Callie Mayer, I think, has fallen back just a little bit more. In fact, she's closing on Amuyu Iwasa, and it'll be interesting to see which of the Dams cars pits first. So Hauger, and yep, Callie Mayer is definitely gaining. It's definitely clicking for her now in this race. But as Liam Lawson pulled a masterstroke to pit one lap before everyone else. Of course, there's only one pit crew. One car is not permitted. You can do two, but because there are less pit crew members on F2 cars, pit stops are much slower. So you're probably ill-advised to double stack in this sport. So well, Yuri Vips is going to go on for another lap. And Dennis Hauger is coming in. So if this works out the way I expect it to, Liam Lawson should move into second eventually. There he is. He's actually come out behind Jake Hughes. It's actually going to be in some turbulent air from the Van Amersfoort car of Jake Hughes. Callum Williams has gone on as well, as has Daruvula. I think Maya is pitted. She has. So Callie is in. Again, the soft tyres, because the hard tyres from the sprint race are the only ones. For some reason, the bug doesn't factor the new set of hard tyres that are used and gives them the older set instead. That's the kind of extent of it. And Liam Lawson has moved up to 7th. So he has beat everyone who is pitted around him. That extra lap could be crucial in who finishes where for the rest of this race. Of course, Marino Sato would be the big benefactor usually, but he's down in 15th place. So that's interesting. But is he already on the hard tyres? And if Sato hasn't pitted yet, when will he pit to put those hard tyres on? And will they make it to the end of the race because they have more laps or less laps used on them due to Sato's retirement in the sprint race? Maya has still ahead of Vesti. She was behind Iwasa before they came in. So Callie was the first of the dams to pit. But Iwasa is showing us third. So the front 3 are in now, or front 4 rather, because there's Williams. So there will be soft tyres. Liam Lawson is going to inherit positions here. Is he going to inherit the lead actually? Liam Lawson actually might have just absolutely aced it in terms of strategy. He set the fastest lap and does take the lead. Now, Liam Lawson, that's interesting, but he's on the soft tyres, so he's going to have to pit again. And that's going to lose him possibly a place if Marino Sato can kind of get on with it and make use of the more grip he'll have. I don't think he's pitted at all yet. As Callie makes a route down the inside of Callum Williams for 5th. So it is finally clicking for Callie Mayer at the right time. Feature race is where you earn more points. So Porsche, Hauger, Vips and Lawson have all pitted ahead of her. So this is going to be the best Callie Mayer can hope for until they pit again for the set of hard tyres, which are very moderately used. So Lawson now has a 5-second lead. That undercut would have served him wonders if there was no tyre bug in this race. And because the bug was never addressed by the game developers, probably because they didn't know about it, because very few people played this mode. We're witnessing it for this season. But as everyone else didn't really use this mode that much, this tyre bug never got addressed. So it is going to throw up some very unusual orders. We could have Marino Sato winning this race because of it. But Callie Mayer is going to have her own say in this race. She's right up with Porsche ahead of her. She's going to at least pass maybe all of these folks for second, which would be a great recovery considering the Hungarian characteristics have not favoured her or her brother Aiden Jackson all weekend long. But here we go around the outside of the same corner she passed Daruvula, and Alazi got passed by Jackson in the 2020 race, and Callie has made it look easy. Is something started to click with Callie Mayer? She did say she'll probably make some adjustments and see if it works. Whatever she has done, it's working wonders for her right now. Callie is putting on another sensational drive in a race that is in a weekend that has been damage limitation for her. She got lucky in the sprint race, but Liam Lawson wasn't able to make any headway ahead of him. And the fact that Callie got the fastest lap bonus point despite not being in the top 8, you can do it to the top 10 and get the bonus points. So she cancelled Liam's point out, and the lead was exactly as it was when we got here at the beginning of the weekend. Lawson is going to deduct some points or carve some points into the lead, but it might not end up being that many. This Callie's on fire. Much better out of the final corner. And is she going to pass Dennis Hauger down the inside of turn 1? You bet she is. Callie Mayer makes a move for P3. And finally, it's going right for at least Callie Mayer. I hope Aiden Jackson's watching, because in the race he could probably do with some tips. Because whatever Callie is doing, it's working. What a great drive by Callie Mayer this is, from out of nowhere. Liam Lawson has a nice substantial lead ahead, but the pit stops are going to probably promote Marino Sato from 12th all the way to the lead if he's quick enough. This tyre bug is definitely one of the most annoying bugs in the F1 game series, that's for sure. But Sato, you've got to be in it to win it. And he might have just have bought the right ticket. That engine failure in the sprint race may have helped him out. But Callie Mayer is going to make some highlights before then. The more places she can make up now, the better off she'll be when the second stops happen. She probably could finish third if she passes Vips in the next few laps. She probably could finish third here. That would be a sensational achievement from 10th on the grid. Callie didn't need any tyre bugs or kind of out of game control things to make this work. She's doing it all by herself. And this has been some drive for Callie at the moment, and passing Vips here would be on the icing on the cake. She'll run out of laps to catch Lawson, but if she finishes third, Liam has the fastest lap, so he'll get an extra point for that. If he keeps that, that'll give Lawson 19 points, and he'll get another 4 points lead carved into Mayer's lead. Down the outside of that corner again for Callie Mayer, and she's going to make it stick there again. And she was obviously watching the Aiden Jackson highlight reel for 2020 with that move, because that is the 4th car she has made a move on in that corner today. What a drive. Callie Mayer proving why she is the championship leader and pretty much at this moment the champion-elect. Look at the speed she has. Oh my word. And you can see a little bit of graining there on the right front tyre, but it didn't phase her at all. A brilliant move by Callie. And she is on it, and Logan Sargent is facing the wrong way. Logan Sargent, Williams bound, possibly for 2023 in the driver shuffle. We got, as we said yesterday, Oscar Piastri most likely going to McLaren. Maybe a merry-go-round a bit of Haas, maybe. Could Mick Schumacher be being replaced as well? Where will Aiden Jackson be? And there's Sargent doing a pirouette. That's a very strange spin for Logan Sargent. He didn't really do a lot wrong there, to be honest. The car just kind of gave out on him, to be honest. Well, where will Callie Mayer be? That's the question. I don't think she may be Formula 1 bound if Konnersport have a say in the matter. And to be completely honest, on this evidence, she would not look overwhelmed by the whole attention on her that will be the first female driver, if she was to make it. The first female competitor since 1992, when Georgia Amati took part in pre-qualifying. But there was no, I don't think there's ever been a Formula 1 full-time Grand Prix racing female. So if Callie Mayer was to make the step up, which she really could do on this evidence, But if we are hearing correctly, we don't fear, but we possibly expect Callie Mayer to be one of the mainstays in the Formula Academy series that could be debuting next year, headed by Susie Wolf. And we're expecting that announcement in due course. In a way, it would be a shame for us Formula One fans not to see Callie Mayer, because my goodness, she would grab and make headlines, and she would also make headlines on the track, because based on her performances this season, she's been the standout for the most part. Liam Lawson has made a miraculous rise, to be fair, but it's been Callie that has been grabbing all the headlines, and it would be a shame for her to miss out. But what will, and here come the other pit stops. So as we start lap 18, Mayer goes on to lead, but I think she'll have Monaco fresh in her mind. She won't take the chance this time. Remember, in Monaco, she tried to go to the end. Despite the tyre bug, it ended up being a failed attempt, as she had to retire on the final lap with a double puncture on one of the right and rear wheels. But Callie feels she can get one more lap out of them. This is the penultimate lap of the race, I think. And this should promote Marino Sato up to second place if we are counting it right. He's currently 8th. And all 7 of these drivers ahead of him will have to pit. He is in the strike zone to win this race. But Callie would not look out of place amongst the F1 grid. But who knows? Maybe a couple of years in F1 Academy would be perfect. Don't forget, if she does kind of take part in it, she will continue to receive from konnersport, and that will grow konnersport's brand for Formula One. Maybe with all this, maybe it will really help konnersport become more of an independent. Maybe at some point in the future. And if they do, what will happen there? Will they become independent through their kind of technical partnership with Audi becoming a full-time kind of thing? Because we are expecting Audi to announce that this whole early entry of theirs, because don't forget, they were supposed to take part in 2026. That was supposed to be their debut, but they brought it forward by about 4 years or so. We're about to find out what that was all about. It could be what they're calling possibly Project Prototype, which would be a very interesting project name. So maybe they will go through with that deal with Sauber, and that would only be the right and fair thing to do. But will konnersport's entry as a technical partner for 2023 aid them in maybe taking over that outfit once Audi really begins their merge with the Sauber team, whose Alfa Romeo concludes at the end of 2023, which makes sense now that we're thinking about it. I actually think that is probably going to be the main idea. Once the Alfa Romeo deal runs out, they will go back to Sauber for a couple of years, and Audi will start their purchase and work from there. So that is a very good kind of placeholder to start. So maybe that's what Audi's been talking about with this whole rumors of Project Prototype. Maybe it's a couple of years going through into the Sauber deal, but can konnersport dip their toes into Formula One, so to speak, by using that as an opportunity? We'll have to see how their drivers do next season, who will most likely be Aiden Jackson and Nico Hulkenberg once again. Well, Marino Sato, it's probably not the most deserving win he will ever score, because he scored it on the fact that he retired from the sprint race and thus had more tyre grip than everyone else around him on this final lap. But he does win this race. It won't change the rest of the complexion of the championship. But Liam Lawson has beaten Callie Mayer today, but my word, has Callie made a great drive out of this one. 10th on the grid, 3rd on the podium. And once again, Callie defies the odds, but Liam Lawson has taken 4 points, or maybe even more, out of her championship lead going to the summer break. But when we return at Spa, expect Callie to fly, because she did just last season, taking pole by over half a second. Unfortunately, we got no races that weekend. So, Rio Sato takes the 25 points. Liam Lawson does get the fastest lap. And I think that is 19 points, so that's a gain of 4 for Liam Lawson into Callie Mayer's championship lead. It is going to be between those two for the rest of the 2022 season. Eurovips finishes 4th. Unfortunate for him, really, because he led this race for the most part very well. Callum Williams 5th. Paul Scher, De Ruvela, Dennis Hager, Frederick Vesti made his way up to 9th. Great drive from him, to be fair. And Amuyu Iwasa fell to 10th, but still gets an extra point for Dams as they continue to hold the championship lead in the Constructors, or the Teams Championship. That's an increase of their lead, I believe. So, Drivers' Championship, I believe that is 18 points between Liam Lawson and Callie Mayer then going into the second half of the season. Dennis Hauger still with an outside shot perhaps, but he and Vershaw need to start winning again to get themselves back in. For Dragovic, championship favourite at the start, down in 5th. Sato moves up to 6th with his win ahead of Armstrong. Paul Scher, really another one we were expecting for great things from this year. He's only down in 8th. Vips and Deruvela complete the top 10. Amuyu Iwasa actually moves up to 11th, I believe. And the rest is probably as you were. Of course, with everyone scoring in 2022. Dams with a 37-point lead over Prema in the Team's Championship. It looks to be between them and Prema once again. So that's it. We are all caught up in the Aiden Jackson konnersport story, and finally, after a bit of a long wait, we will see you at Spa-Francorchamps for the race weekend when Formula 2 and Formula 1 return.